just clocked, guys, that it's a 48-minute video, so we're gonna probably break this down into 2 parts probably. So we'll probably do one today, or one now when you're watching it, and then probably another one tomorrow as well, so we can get the 2 parts in. Welcome back to another vlog.
Hi everyone, I'm back.
A certain someone has decided to join the party this time. So because you guys seem to really enjoy the reaction vlogs, we are going to do another one for you today with Cody in it this time. So the topic on this vlog is, are Filipinos racist? Nah.
Racism in the Philippines.
This is going to be like, so we've only watched it for about 30 seconds just to see if it's like the sort of vlog where we could do a reaction to. So it was put online on like the 12th of May. So it's like a couple of months ago or whatever. So we think this one might be quite a good video to do a review on, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect.
That's why I'm a bit nervous.
The title is a bit crazy, so I don't know what's going to happen here, but we're going to...
What's interesting is, I'm white, Chris is black, and we've got a house in Asia, so the whole mix is in there, so it's going to be interesting from every perspective.
So, let's get straight into it and see what's occurring. There's a bit of dust on there, guys. Yeah, let me just... There we go. Alright, let's do this.
Accept that I'm Filipino and I'm proud to be Filipino.
Pagka yun na yung nakita ko na in-check ka, bumalik ka sa China, parang hindi ba ako worthy sa pagka-Pilipino?
The influence of racism in Philippine culture has always fascinated me in the 8 years that I've been living in this country. From the widespread obsession of skin whitening to the careless use of derogatory terms in casual conversation, it's intriguing to learn what Filipinos consider acceptable and what pushes the boundaries of discrimination. Seeking to hear other people's perspectives, I sat down with 4 individuals from different walks of life to hear their stories about racism in the Philippines.
You said it's so dramatic.
I don't know what to expect on this. It's going to be crazy.
Hello, Ange.
Hey Bunny, how are you?
Hello, Joshua.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Prof.
Hi, Manny, hi.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me in our office.
Okay, let's start off by first introducing yourself for the people watching.
Sure, my name is Jay. I'm 38 years old. I'm from New York, and I've been living in the Philippines for 4 years.
I'm Angeli Dion Gomez. I'm 26 years old, pure Filipina, born and raised in Cebu. I'm a beauty queen, or like a former beauty queen. So I've joined a few pageants before.
Joshua Parmas, I'm actually from Florida. My father's from South America, mixed with Indian and black, and my mother is Native American, white, and African American. So I'm very diverse background.
Xiao Chua, I'm a public historian. I teach here in LaSalle history, and 4th generation Filipino-Chinese. That means it was my great-grandfather who was a migrant from Fujian. After that, nag-intermarry na sa mga Pinoy. That makes me Filipino.
Alright, so since this video is about racism, my first question is, how would you define that word, racism?
I'd say racism is just looking down on a certain race.
Judging people.
So guys, this is where we got up to when we thought, right, we better stop because this is going to get really interesting. So this is when it all starts, right here.
What's your definition of racism? What do you define?
If someone hates someone else because of where they're from or their colour, that to me is racism. And what's going to be interesting is that we've been certain places in the Philippines where people have used certain words that we shall not name that are very, what's the word? They're not accepted in the West. And I was like, when he said it, do you remember?
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where it always makes you go because it's so unacceptable in the West to use those words that when they're said you can't help because you don't hear it but go, oh wow, and then you have to kind of go through a thing in your mind of, okay, where am I? Do they mean it in the same term? And so it's happened a couple of times, which is why we thought this would be interesting, because we've had our own couple of moments where things have been said where we'll get to that during, but same in terms of I define racism to be when someone makes a preconception or judgment on someone because of their colour, ethnicity, where they're from, or their ethnic background. So let's go.
Let's do this.
People without knowing anything about them.
You don't like someone because of their skin color or their ethnicity.
And of course, we all know that in anthropology, this is baseless. You remember Pocahontas, right?
Yes.
You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you.
The song, yeah.
Right? So of course, you know that is one of the tenets of Western colonialism. Nananakop sila ng tao because they think that other people are inferior. So then they will give their superior culture. Well, in fact, galing na tayo sa Africa.
Alright, so with that being said, with your definition of racism, I have some images related to the Philippines that I want to show you, and I want you to tell me if it's racist for you or not.
Sige. Tingnan nga natin.
Shall we read it out loud?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, God shaped man from dough.
You make it in an oven, but you accidentally burnt it. I know this.
The dough came out black.
This would later become the people from Africa.
Oh. God tried again, shaped man from dough, and this time he undercooked it.
The dough came out too late, and this would become white people.
Even that, I'm laughing, and I don't feel like I should laugh because, like, it's just you.
So wait, hold on. Is this a children's song in Philippines?
It's a well-known children's story, apparently, according to the man who is presenting this video that we're watching.
So is this story taught in school or read in school, guys?
Is anyone familiar with this? Because the Filipino man said, "Oh, I know this," as soon as he started reading it.
We've
So
never heard of it.
We've
so
never heard of it. And those two lines, "he was burnt," is like, I know I laughed, but I laughed in like, wow. And then he was too light, so this would become white people.
So what I want to know is what their reaction is right now, and then I want to know what your guys' reaction is, and then we'll say what our reaction is, because ours is a bit different because we've been in the Philippines for so long, right? So, carry on.
No, I'm laughing. This is kind of funny.
God tried one last time to perfect his creation.
Out of the oven came God's man-shaped dough that was brown and good.
From that perfectly colored man-shaped dough would descend the Filipinos. Sorry.
This is for real?
Yes.
This is for real?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What do I think about this?
Yeah, racist or not racist?
This is crazy racist this is shockingly racist. And this is taught in school.
I think it's more from before. I don't think it's taught
okay.
as much now.
Okay, they actually removed this from the curriculum, I hope.
Before, people do not think of this as racist because we were so used of hearing other people being racist at us.
To be honest, I don't think that's very racist. I think it's kind of dumb and funny.
I mean, this is racist because it's being put out there to children. But when you think about who the message is being, given to, yeah, it's a little off.
Maybe it is racist. Yeah. To
I don't think that's really racist. Do you think that's racist?
I think it can definitely be perceived as racist, yeah, because the target audience is children. To see black people as being burnt, to see white people as being not done enough or not, like, do you know what? So in the eyes of children, it can allow them to think that they are better because they're not burnt and they're not undercooked. Do you know what I mean? So in an innocent mind of a child could think, well, I'm better than you because I'm the perfect.
But then the counter argument to that would be Filipinos genuinely, this is not everybody of course, but this is like a general perception of foreigners, is that foreigners are mostly probably white and they've got money. So if that's true, and it's like to try and suggest that people are inferior to the Filipino, let's say, because people are too white or too dark, but the Filipino is the perfect colour, but then in the Philippines, when you're there, it's like foreigners are almost put on like a pedestal.
That's our experience, that when we're there, everybody, but I don't even think that it's like a pedestal. I think that that's just the over love for foreigners visiting the country. I don't think that it's you're on a pedestal because you're foreign. It's you're on a pedestal because we're so grateful that you've come to visit our country, and we in general just love to host and have you, and like they're
But like when
very-
they see you, they're like, "Oh wow, you're white, you're nice
yeah,
skin."
that
It,
happens
for
a
me,
lot.
it can't be. It's not racist, but it's said in an unacceptable way. If that makes sense, is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair, but I still go back to the point of, in a child's innocent mind who doesn't understand the kind of, who doesn't have the emotional intelligence to understand what you're saying, it could be perceived that
maybe.
they are better than black and white because they have better skin, which is kind of the thought in the West in terms of white people are better than black people because we are white and you are black. Our skin is better.
What did
than
the
yours.
Filipino man say? He said it was
said-
funny.
No. The girl, the beauty pageant girl, said
she
it was
said it's
funny,
funny.
and she didn't think it was racist. But then she said, actually, yeah, it is.
All right, let's carry on.
Other countries, though, not to us, obviously.
Okay, next.
Negros.
Negroes.
No,
See, I was red.
he said it wrong. He said
It's
it
read wrong. But when we first went, that's what I thought it was called as well.
Nah.
I did.
think?
I did not read that as negros.
Yeah, but in Spanish though, negros
Yes,
is black.
It's black.
So I don't think that's racist.
But you're not Spanish, and you don't know Spanish.
No, but I don't know Spanish. But
And-
I know that that's a lot of people would know that is like a color. So is that racist?
Yeah, but no. But did you read it as that when we first went?
No, I read it as negros.
That's not how I read it the same way he read it, but I didn't think, oh my god, that's a racist island. Do you know, like that was not even a thought process. But I read it in my head
Definitely
the same
saying
way.
that's racist. He's gonna say that's racist.
He's gonna be
100%.
he's gonna be fuming.
All right.
Is it?
Yes.
Of course it would be.
The name of the island.
And why is it called Negroes?
Kasi nga, nung pinangalanan yun na Negros, dahil maitim daw yung mga tao.
Oh, that's interesting. Did
Buglass.
you know that?
No.
That it's
Buglass.
yeah, but did you see what he said?
No, what did he say?
He said that the island was originally named this Negros because the inhabitants were dark skinned.
Oh, the original Filipinos.
Yeah, the inhabitants of the island originally were dark skinned. That's why it's called that island.
So that would mean then the aeta. Is it true, guys, that the aeta used to? Well, this would be like hundreds of years ago, though, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
would be like a long time ago.
back.
It was the aeta mostly native to Negros. Was they all put on Negros or?
I don't think they would have been put there because they were the original inhabitants of the country. So I think that they just would have inhabited like most of the land, and they
That's
would have
interesting.
come up with the names. No,
I didn't. I
that is
didn't know
interesting. I didn't know that either, and I did actually. I'm not gonna lie. It's always been something in my mind that made me think, why is it called that? Because it's not a black island, is it?
Learn something new every day.
See.
I don't know the history, but I am surmising that it is because of that.
There's been some instances where people from the Philippines talk about Negros and people from other countries misinterpret it. Like,
Negroes?
Yeah,
Negroes? No, that's not racist.
No.
It's Negros.
okay.
It's not. It's not.
It's
Well,
the pronunciation.
When it was named, it was probably racist, but Negros is our name.
Now it's just
It was a name. It's a name. So, it doesn't matter. But,
I don't know when they named this Negroes. It depends, because you have to think about it, because it could have been when the settlers that brought over the Catholic religion here
from Spain.
from Spain, they could have quoted Negroes and they see it that way, but
If the Spanish were the ones who named the island, would that be racist? As opposed to if it was the natives who named it?
somewhat. Because they are the ones who named the island.
Yeah, the Spanish. did.
Yeah, so, it pretty much is. a little
On that
bit.
context.
Yeah, on that context.
You realize in history they do things like this, things that it could almost so deep that you can't even change it, versus them just saying something racist. They name an entire island something racist.
So he's just said that the Spanish named that island.
Yeah. Does that change for you? Does that change?
I suppose if you think about it deeply, it could. But then I think of like original Spanish people, and they are also brown skinned.
Well, yeah, they're kind of tanned at least.
Well, they're definitely browner than me.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you guys think that is like could be looked at as racist? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think as well though, like the pronunciation. As soon as I heard the pronunciation of that island, I definitely didn't associate it with that word. But being a Western person, I read it the same way he did. But when I heard it, I didn't even put the two together.
Yeah, I think.
So pronunciation is massive.
Yeah, pronunciation
massive
is
here.
absolutely key. Because to me, that only says negros, but I can understand.
But if you sent that into your group chat with your friends, no one is reading that as negros. Not one of them.
This is a controversial video, you know. This is a bit controversial.
But we do love negros, and we can't wait to go back.
Negros is banging, banging.
So it's there forever. It's like them making their mark, which is unacceptable if you ask me.
Last one. This is a billboard. Very common.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they're relating your skin tone to your actually getting a job.
Yes.
Para ma-hire ka rin, maging maputi ka din.
So is that racist?
It is racist. It is racist.
Yeah, that's definitely racist.
It's not just the Philippines, it's all around the world. Like you have guys that are from Jamaica they used to be dark, that are bleaching their skin.
And that's, you know, what's weird is that the things that you were showing me, there is no subtle about this racism. This is completely blunt racism. And the fact that it's accepted as so natural and normal, how normalized it is unsettling.
You think that they're okay in normal, ordinary thinking, but you dig deeper to them, they're actually racist.
The children that are growing up, you know, they're subliminally taught that the whiter you are, the better you are, the more likely you are to succeed in life, the more money, the more everything. It's subliminally being taught to all of their children, and it's not good. It's not good.
I would say it's more not racist, but like looking down on someone's looks. So I would say it's more related to like body shaming. I find this more in the category of body shaming than it is a racist thing.
You know, a lot of racism is actually, when you look at it, it's not racism, but class distinction.
Usually when you look at someone with darker color, they're seen as someone that has a job outside. That's because, you know, color, your lighter color, shows you're a certain class.
Very, very not simple and very complicated ang racism. And sometimes pag hinimay-himay mo, it's not just racism. Ang dami nang nakahalo dyan.
See what they just said about the class thing?
It's a class thing, I think.
I learned this by being in the Philippines, because being a white person in the West, all my life, I just want a tan. Like, I'll go on holiday and I can't wait to get some colour on my skin and a tan, and I can't wait to come back and be browner than all of my friends, and that was just normal. Like, it was just normal for me. And then I went to the Philippines and other Asian countries, but obviously like we communicated more with people in the Philippines because there was less language barrier. And all the time, even now, everyone will be like, oh, why are you in the sun? Come out of the sun, you're ruining your skin, come out, your beautiful white skin. And they're always commenting on my skin.
They don't care about me. Always. They're like, you're too dark, you're already mashed up. You just stay in it, and there's no saving you, Chris, you're alright.
But I literally was flabbergasted when these people sat speaking to me one day and said, why do you want to tan your skin? I don't understand why you want to be darker. And I was like, because I think it looks more beautiful to be brown than I do when you look white. And I have spent hundreds of pounds in my life. I will get you a bottle from over there to show you, on buying tanning products and sunbeds and going on holiday for a tan. And I've got bottles of brown liquid that you put on your skin to stain your skin, which is obviously only lasts for a few days, just to give myself a bit of colour. And that is just a normal thing that white people do in this country. And then we go to Asia and it's the complete opposite, but more extreme, because skin bleaching is a more permanent and damaging, obviously, like, result of the same mindset.
But that title says, "Are Filipinos racist?" That is a culture in Asia. That's not.
It's not
just
thing.
Philippines. That's like Thailand, Philippines,
Laos, Cambodia,
all of them.
Indonesia,
All of them countries.
everywhere.
That is like seen as the norm, if you like. That is like
East.
normal.
It's the East. It's Dubai. It's everywhere. Like, you got, even in the airports. Think about it. When we're coming back from our trips or going to our trips, and you land in those Eastern airports, Jordan, like Malaysia, everywhere, there's always a billboard of skin bleaching. And I found it very difficult for the first few years of traveling to find products for my skin that didn't have bleach in them, because everyone wants to be whiter and I'm out on a mission to get darker. So I found it very hard to find body wash and face wash and sun cream and all of these, the moisturizer that didn't have bleaching in. And I actually bought 2 face masks once thinking I'm gonna have a pamper night, and then when I got back realized that they had bleach in. So I don't think this is a race thing. However, I can completely understand why people from the West would take it as a race thing. I do think that there is an element of, I don't think racism is the right word, but I do think that it can be counterproductive.
Right. Like some sort of body shaming type thing.
Yeah, it is. It's body shaming people of a darker complexion, which is completely, I think it's completely wrong, because I literally, how many times have we had the conversation about me being in the sun and how I would rather be, and I've said to Filipinos so many times, I would rather have your colour than my colour. I would rather be dark than be white, because I just think it's more beautiful. And the class thing I learned when someone explained that back in the day, the people who would work on the fields, outside, on the farms, they'd be dark, which would mean they're poor. But if you were white or lighter, you were seen to be richer because you were inside and away from the sun. So it was associated with rich and poor before it was associated with race. I think the West has brought in the race and the East has
Didn't
the
one
class.
of the guys on there say that it was a class distinction, he said, right?
Yeah.
I think he's probably right. I think he's actually right on that one, I think.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
This is interesting.
Very interesting.